All right, welcome out to another episode of the Coach Bible Weekly Podcast. This is episode number 7. It's Thursday. That means we're going to be talking Rockport Fulton Pirates football. And on the screen, I got the head man here for Rockport, Coach Jacob Bible. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me on once again.
Oh, yes, sir. We come on every week. And Coach, before we get started on the questions that I have for you, I just want to congratulate you on the win Friday. It was your first win right here as the head man for Rockport. So congratulations, Coach. I was not there, but it was a heck of a game. I was watching it through the stream, and it was great. I mean, it came down to the wire and we were able to get that win. So I guess before we get started, what was that feeling like for you getting your first win here in Rockport, the coaches, and of course the players? What was all that like Friday after the game?
Well, the kids deserved it. I mean, they've been working their tails off for a long time and just haven't been able to experience that. So it was definitely hard fought from everybody, coaches and players, and we definitely needed all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams to win it. And that's what it took. And we did everything that it took to win that game. So it was an unbelievable feeling for the kids, just to see them experiencing that right there is why I do this and why it makes this job fun.
Yes, sir, and it was great. We had Sean Howell on the Pirates Cove. I watched it through the stream yesterday, and boy, he was just all laughs. I mean, it was just great, and he played a great game. And we're going to get to his stats here in a minute. But overall, Coach, just a recap of that game, right? Because 20 something points you scored in that fourth quarter was amazing. But you're right. It took all three phases, and your defense played great. Your offense played great, and the special teams toward the end, man, that was big time. So you're right. So just overall, you put your game plan together. What did you see from your team and their performances on all three phases?
Well, we on offense, even though we were down, we stuck to the game plan, and that's what I really enjoyed. And we were able to stick to the game plan. What we wanted to go into the game doing, we were able to do throughout that game. And one of the reasons why is we played so well in our special teams area. Coach Delgado has done a great job with that and continuing week by week. Um, and there's certain kicks that we have in our kickoff that we're trying to steal possessions, and that was a big game, and we stole a couple of possessions there, and it boosted our offense to be in plus territory and go in for a couple of scores. And our defense, once again, man, you know give up, I think it was 58 was the number, 58 rushing yards. And so it played very stout in the run game, and we came up with we had some big time stops whenever we needed in some short yardage situations, and gave up a couple deep balls. But man, they had some unbelievable catches. Again, there's one on Nate Garcia where he just has, or you couldn't ask for better position. But the guy just makes a daggum great play. But we're getting better at it. More incompletions is what we're seeing, and with that deep ball. So we worked a crap ton of a lot of it in practice once again. So I like to see us continue to get better in that area.
No, you are. And I think looking at the film, like I said last week, we get to see the film over and over multiple times, and you can see I see kids getting more comfortable on that defense, right? Just understanding and now not waiting and react. They're just reacting, right? We're not waiting to see what's going. We know where they're going, and boom, we're hitting. And so they're starting to feel more comfortable, which then comes up to big plays. And we'll get to our defensive play here in just a bit. But first, I want to get to the offensive player of the game for the Pirates Cove, and that was the quarterback Sean Howell. And he had 18 run attempts, Coach, 96 yards, 25 was the longest. He was 7 of 20 in the air for 146 yards. 37 was his longest pass. He had 3 touchdowns in this game. He had a 1 yard TD run, an 8 yard TD run, and a two-yard TD run. So when you look at him, I mean, because I think when you look at the offense in this game, right, you have Garcia and Alvarado. I mean, they're a handful for any defense, right? And then you add now that read option with Sean, which now you don't know who's getting the ball. So Sean had some openings that kept some drives alive. So just overall, just his performance on what you saw from Sean in this game, because he was big time for us against Pleasanton.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and it was kind of the first time where, he kind of said, "Give me the ball, coach. Let me do my thing, coach." And so he really stepped up versus Pleasanton and said, "Let me carry the load. I can handle it." And he wanted the ball. And that's kind of been it was kind of the difference between that and the previous weeks where he just kind of was listening to play calls, executing as best as possible. But this week he kind of stepped up and said, "Give me the rock. I'll put it in the end zone," or because we need it. With Trey, him and that nagging groin injury, we limited his carries, and then he had all he could have, and then Dawson, we're rotating him receiver and running back, and then Trevor starting linebacker and making plays and running back. So we needed Sean to step up and take some of the carries and then that's what we're going to need, moving forward, especially until Trey gets 100%.
Yeah, and I just think it's another threat for that defense, right? Because you don't know where the ball's going. Because when you talk about Trevor and Trey, right, they're just a handful for anybody. They don't really go down on the first hit. I mean, they move forward. They can take that one hit, pick somebody up, and go. It's gang tackling for both of them. They're power runners, and then so when you add now Sean as a threat, right, where I don't know if he's going to run or not. It's going to keep, I think, a lot of those drives for us moving as we get those
Yeah,
three,
and
4 yards.
and like I said, they don't know who has the ball. There was a couple of times where you watch film and their middle linebackers just flat footed, sitting right in the middle of the play because you got Trevor going one way and Sean going the other, and he's having to guess, where that ball is going, and by the time he realizes it's running by him.
Running by him. Exactly. That's exactly what we saw on film. And I was just telling the guys, man, it's another threat. Wow. We would definitely hope we see more of that. And we told Sean that as well on the podcast, but he did a great job just, managing the game. And like you said, I think the biggest thing was sticking to the game plan, not getting nervous, just, let things come to us. And then when all three phases of the game come your way, the result is you get that win like we did. So great job by Sean Howell in that game. He was big time for us in that win. But then you go to the defensive side, coach, and our Parscope defensive player of the game was Trevor Garcia, total of 9 tackles, 8 solo. And coach, you and I have talked about him on the podcast. This kid is doing it. First of all, he's a junior, right? So he's coming back next year, but he's just doing it on both sides for you, coach. I mean, he's on offense, he does the little things. And defensively, I think he's starting to pick it up now and understand what your scheme is because he's everywhere around. I mean, he is just lights out. And against Pleasanton, he's a big reason why we won that game. Just your thoughts on his overall performance.
Yeah, and what makes the Sam and the Will allow them to do their job so well is, when the defensive line and the defensive ends do their job, and how it all just fits up. Because one person up front, misses a gap, and then it makes it difficult for the Sam and Will to be able to fit, and so we're just doing a great job being more consistent with our end positions and them fitting how they're supposed to, which is helping our Sam and Will know their responsibility, trust that defensive end to be where he's supposed to be, and go fit really fast. Like you said, that we stay pretty simple defensively, and the whole purpose is so all of our focus is on our opponent and what that one single key is doing. It's not about where we're not having to double think what our alignment is, who it is I'm reading, and then how do I react. We're just going, we're playing fast, and so I'm loving it. When I watch tape and I see it all fit, it's a beautiful thing to me.
Oh no, for us too. I mean, we watch it. I'm telling you, coach, it's great. It's you don't see it when it's live, right? Because you're trying to catch where the ball's going. But when you're able to break it down afterwards, you're like, wow, look at this, look at this. It's great. And that defense, and he's playing just great. And I mean, I just can't continue to say good things about this kid, offensively and defensively. He's just been lights out for us.
Yeah,
The other
feels like
kid,
I'm saying it every week, but he's a baller.
no, he is. He is. I mean, we talk about him a lot too. The guys and I talk about him, say, man, here we go again. But I mean, he's just been great for us, and it's good to see his progression and what he's doing on both the defense and the offense. Coach, another kid I wanted to talk about on your defense was Jackson Cowan. He's a young kid. He's a sophomore. I watched him play at the varsity level last year, in baseball. And he was impressive to me then because he just seems to get better every week. He did it in baseball last year. You're seeing it here in football this year, coach. He had 6 tackles, but he had that big time interception for us that to seal the deal for us right there at the very end. It was 4th and goal. They had to throw it. He put himself in great position. So just want you to talk a little bit about his growth. And then that in particular, coach, that play where he was, because he was supposed to be where he was exactly where he was supposed to be at to make that play, and he did it. So just your thoughts on his growth. And if you can take us back to that one last play.
Yeah, well, I'll first start off with that drive, and we have a cover 2 man that we practice, and we haven't been able to really use it in a game, in a situational like that situation. So the first and my hats to off to the kids and how they were able to adjust and understand what we were trying to accomplish within that last minute of that game, but for gosh, like I feel like they finally are understanding, like, higher level football to where we can make a call, make an adjustment, and they understand why we're making that adjustment. So I was really proud of them on that last drive to be able to execute that coverage in a high pressure situation like that. And yeah, they were really attacking number one receivers on the edge, just trying to either, we had a pressed up corner, they're trying to go deep. We were playing off a little bit, they're throwing a quick little out route. And so just playing games with that. And in that last play, he was over the top where he was supposed to be, where our corner had inside underneath leverage. And if that ball is going to be caught, it's going to be caught, out of bounds or beyond the end zone. Other than that, our corner and safety should be over and under on that coverage. And then when he tried to, take it inside, and Jackson, like you said, was right where he's supposed to be, and executed a play where it should have been. And Sean had an opportunity that play before, and he could have had a pick himself, but he batted it down with both hands.
Yeah, and that was the thing. They had multiple shots to win that game, and that defense stood strong. I mean, they did not. Sean had that play before. Like, that was big time to put him in there. And he said, I'm a little taller, so it's with those receivers. So, the height has a little bit of an advantage for us. But just overall, like you said, that final play, the drive, the multiple chances that they had, they couldn't get it in, and then they go to that fourth. And like you said, if he was going to go in, we had Calendar on the bottom, so he got double teamed, and right, and I slow mode that because I want to see the movement right on film, and you can see when he throws it right before he even releases it. I mean, Jackson's in the perfect position, right, and just gets it, and the receiver never had a shot at it, and we jumped in, and he seals the deal. And just what a great win. And I thought overall the performance, coach, was the kids really grew up in that game, just to be able to, like I said, stay with the game plan, and just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and it paid off for us, and we came up with big plays from multiple of kids, and that's a team win, right? And that's what
Yeah,
we
there's
got to
no
do.
doubt. Like, one kid that, he's been playing corner for us, and that really stood out. He was our special teams player of the game, and that's Hugo Carrillo. And he, on those, he affected those 2 kickoffs that we were able to recover. He was the first one down, and goes after that ball and deflects it from them being able to catch it. And Miguel Singletary is able to recover. And then on the very next one, for him to catch it in the air, like, it was huge, big
It
time.
was. It was a great team win, man. And we're gonna get coach's thoughts here as we the next game, Beeville will get coach's thoughts on what we're gonna have to do to get that win over a tough Beeville team, coach. But before we get to that, I do want to kind of now jump over to our junior varsity a group, and they were playing up in Pleasanton on Thursday. And our JV Gold team took the loss 16-0, coach. But there were some great some kids that stood out. Levi Garcia, I think it's Ethan Gregg, and Tanner Chenault. I believe, I hope I'm saying their last names correctly. They played well for the Pirates on that gold team. That just kind of stood out. But then the JV Green gets their district win 21-0, and offensively, because they looked really really good, right? Like you had Zane Rios started off 57-yard TD run in the first quarter. Reed Snyder that 5-yard TD run in the second, and then Dylan Gregg gets that 49-yard TD run in the fourth. So offensively, they were rolling. But defensively, they get the shutout, right? Cam Austin, Eric Hodgduke. I hope I'm saying his name
Yes.
correctly. Ricardo Solis, Jackson Grubert. There were some others, but those are just a couple of names that stood out to me that made some big plays in that game. So, when you look at it, and I know, the JV goal lost 16-0, but then you kind of see some of the players that are standing out. And then offensively, I think that JV Green team, with Zane, he's real fast and he's kind of small, right? So I mean, he sees a hole and he's gone. And then they've got that power runner too. So we've got like power running and we've got speed. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on both the gold and green JV teams in their games versus Pleasanton last week.
Yeah, our goal team, they just shot themselves in the foot a little too much in that game. We drove the ball offensively really well, and we had some great stops defensively and played really well on that part. For that goal team, they just gave up a couple long runs and then some penalties, extended a drive that led to a score, and then you just couldn't recover from there. And then our green team, coming out defensively again. They're starting to figure it out as well as far as keys, alignment, and just reacting and playing fast and going. And that showed that night. The fits that we saw are it's like, okay, there we go. That's how it should fit up. And so I'm really proud of that defense coming along as well. And in our offense, yeah, Dylan Gregg, he's a very fast and tough runner. The only knock on him is sometimes he will put his head down and he just wants that physicality and where if he just would make a little cut, it turned that 0 gain or 5-yard gain into a much larger gain in a 15 and possibly a score. And we saw that in the fourth quarter whenever he scored that long run
Mhm.
and now hugged him up after that because he finally had his eyes up. He was looking and reading the defense, made a cut, and on that one cut went and scored. So it was big time for him. And Rios, he's to me, I see him like a Trevor Garcia. He's a ball player. He's smart out there on the field. You don't have to tell him a whole lot, and you just on this do this, on this do this, and he's yes sir, and he executes it pretty dang well. So I'm excited to see him get some carries on the offensive side of the ball, and he'll get more of them moving forward.
Yeah, he's great. I watched the two older brothers. He had two older brothers that played here, and they were great. The middle one was Chase. He was really like Zane. He could just get going with speed. So I hope he's going to be a product of his two older brothers because I actually think he might be a little bit more talented than the two, but I don't know. But he's great, coach. And I like Reed Snyder too. I saw him from week one to where he's at now. He looks more comfortable in the pocket, making some really good throws. He rolls out. He looked really good to me too. He looks like he's really picking up. I mean, sometimes we think he's still young. He's only a freshman. He's playing junior high ball, but in the games I've seen from week one to now, he looks more comfortable in that position. He's looking really good. So I'm hoping that that's something we're going to see here in the future because I think he's a good athlete. I hear.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. And he's one that just figuring things out still, and what's his body position need to be like if he's going to throw the fade ball, or if he's just going to throw a short hitch or slant. What does my body posture have to be? And so he's being more consistent with that. And then Luke Brown out on the edge is doing a great job making some big time catches for us.
oh yeah, I love that Luke Brown. I saw him in week one and two, and I said, oh no, he's definitely going to be a talent for us. And like you said, I love he wants to win. I mean, when he drops the ball, you can see his emotion on the field. So I just love what he brings to the game. Um, Coach, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the middle school. I know our seventh graders, I was told they traveled to Beeville. Of course, they took the loss. That's their first loss of the season. So I know it hurt a little bit. Then I was here in Rockport. I don't know if our seventh grade B team won or lost. I wasn't told about that, but I know our eighth grade B team lost. But our eighth grade, I mean our eighth grade A team lost, but the B team won. I think it was 32-16. I was really impressed with the B team. There was a kid that was running the ball, Angel Deleon, coach, and I hadn't seen him. I did not catch a lot so far of that eighth grade B team. This kid is super fast, and he runs the ball great. They hand him the ball. He's to me in this game, he looked like he had good vision, cuts in, cuts out, and if he turns that corner, if you don't have a good angle on him. And I thought sometimes, okay, Beaver had an angle on him, they're going to catch him. He just flew
Yeah.
right by them. 4 times he had 4 touchdowns. Angel De Leon, 4 touchdowns. It was very impressive. Just your thoughts on his speed and his performance, because that's the first time I'd seen him ever run the ball.
Yeah, I definitely hadn't recognized him that much on the previous games that I've watched. But yeah, like you said, our offensive line did a really good job blocking in that game. So it was real impressive that you didn't see white jerseys in the backfield,
No,
and so he was able to get to that line of scrimmage and make his cut. And like you said, once he made his cut, he was a problem uh, for Beeville. So yeah, and I that's what I was wondering, like, who is this kid, like, running the ball? Like, he had some will, so it was fun to watch.
it was, coach, and I don't know if it was the weather because it's football weather, right? So I was just kind of joking around the stream. I said, I don't know, maybe it's football weather. It's kind of cool. It's a little drizzling out here. That's football players love that type of weather. I said, but man, he came out to play.
Yep.
I looked at him. I said, this kid, he scored 4 touchdowns. There were some beautiful runs. I'm glad I got it on film, and I said I'm going to ask coach about him. Just a name that you might want to keep an eye on, Angel Deleon, number 17. He plays for the eighth grade B team. Just a great performance, coach. And now I just kind of want to get your thoughts as we move over to Friday. We're going into Beeville. It's a tough team. You know, Beeville has had a good season. Coach Sosa's been out there for a while with Beeville. And they're a run game. I mean, they're a team. When we broke them down on film, coach, they pass a lot now too. They're not just a slot T, so they can do both. But mainly, I think their offense, they love to run the ball. Our run defense has been great as of late. And so, just want to get your thoughts as we travel now over to Beeville for tomorrow's district game against the Trojans. What do the Pirates need to do to get another one as far as offensively and defensively?
Yeah, we're gonna need to adjust more. First, going into this game, when you think Beeville, you're thinking, okay, you got to stop the slot T, you got to stop the run. But in a few games this year, they've gotten in doubles and trips and gotten to some spread formations and chunking the ball around, and really doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like a team that's been running the slot T for years. They look like it's just something that they can hop in and do and execute it well. So we're going to have to be able to transition from that slot T run right at you, and those backs in the backfields going all over the place to 4 wide receivers and 3-by-1, 2-by-2, and be able to stop the pass in those formations in those situations. But yeah, it's a big challenge for our defense to be able to stop the run, and they're up for it, so they're excited about it, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
The guys on the Pirates Code podcast, when they were on there, I was listening to them, and they, the one thing that I heard from them that was a little interesting to me is this is not the same Rockport team from week 1 and 2, right? That we saw against Pleasanton. It's a different team. And the defense, when we talk, right, they've gotten better, coach. You can see that. They play with a lot of more confidence. You see those corners. That one play you talked about when the quarterback from Pleasanton threw it, you're right. Our corner was right on him. You couldn't have been any better. Just a beautiful catch. But you're seeing more confidence from the defense to make plays. Dawson Phillips has had a few interceptions now. Jackson got a big one at the end of the game. And I think that's a huge confidence builder. I know when I played ball and I had a big game, it built my confidence for the next game. I know I can do this now. Whatever was in my head and I doubted, Now I just got to go out and play my game. I know I can do it. I know I can compete with the best. I know my ability. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us, obviously, but I look forward to a good game. And I hope we just get out there and put ourselves in a position where we can win the game at the very end, because that's all you can really ask for. But it's going to be a good game. So all you Pirate fans, come on out to Beeville tomorrow night. The Rockport Fulton Pirates travel to Beeville to take on the Trojans. But again, if you cannot make the game out at Trojan Stadium, definitely support your Rockport Fulton Pirates through our live stream. GT Sports will be out there. You can catch the game on our Pirates Cove YouTube channel with the crew there. So, Coach, thank you for coming on again, spending a little bit of time with me. I know you're busy. I wish you good luck tomorrow. I'll be definitely watching it on the stream, but I'll give you the final thoughts or anything you want to add. I know our tennis team is on the road. They left early this morning. I saw the crowd that was out there, Coach, and it was quite a good crowd out there supporting our tennis team as they traveled early. I think it was like 6:45, 7 o'clock this morning. So
Yes.
anything you want to add, Coach?
Yeah, congrats to them and what they've accomplished so far, and good luck to them. They probably finished up by now, so I'll get word here pretty soon, the next couple hours on how they finished up there in San Antonio, and we got our district track meet. I know I got an update that we had one district champion this morning, and then our middle schools this afternoon, and our volleyball is up in Beeville on Friday, and I just want everybody to know that we're not traveling to Beeville just to play a good game. We have one intention to go up there, and that's to win. So come out, support us, and we're going to fight our tails off and do everything that we can in order to do that.
Absolutely, Coach. And we're going to be there supporting you. Like I said, I have to see it through the stream, but the guys are going to be there. It's going to be a good game. So definitely go out there. It's about an hour drive, but it'll be a good drive out there to support your Pirates. But once again, if you can't make it for whatever reason, you're working, you're out of town, you can catch the game and support your Pirates through the GT Sports live stream. Coach, thank you very much. Have a great day. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.